You haven't lost anything until you actually sell. There is such a thing as long-term investments, you know. That's a fallacy and it's crap. In the last video, I got a few comments where I was talking about taking profits when your cryptocurrency is majorly in the green. And 2 comments I got is, you haven't lost anything if you still hold the investment. Sell nothing. If you didn't sell at the right time, there is something called long-term investment. There isn't such a thing anymore as a long-term investment. There are 1 million plus cryptocurrencies. The only long-term investments you can have are Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, right? And maybe some other layer 1s. But narrative plays are no longer long-term investments. They are investments that you buy and you sell during the narrative, and that is that. Now, I made this video today because of 2 fantastic questions that I have received. Suppo, I've been holding during this huge dump. I think it's not a good strategy to sell at this very point. Now my only option, I guess, is to keep holding and hope that this nightmare ends very soon. Would you do the same if you're in my shoes? And another one I got in the mastermind chat, which is, hey Suppoman, probably many of your followers are thinking the same way. What to do next with these bags of coins that fell into the basement? Sell and make a new portfolio of brand new coins, or stick to the old ones that are also not old and haven't experienced a bull run yet? Let me explain to you a little bit about the rationale of what you should do about selling coins that are in the basement. So this is what a particular narrative pump looks like. Okay, a lot like everything, a lot like every market cycle. It has its bull phase and it's had its bear phase, right? Back in the beginning of 2023, we had an AI pump. This was as a result of ChatGPT and OpenAI, which really changed the game as far as AI is concerned, because the game was opened up to everyone. Everyone had access to AI. They could ask a question and get a direct answer. You didn't need Google anymore. And then this evolved. You were able to do more than just ask questions. You're able to generate images, generate all sorts of different types of media that could be used for content. And so AI really changed the game. And so AI really started becoming a narrative in 2023. And now at the end of 2024, when we saw money flowing back into the cryptocurrency market, particularly in Bitcoin, taking it to a new all-time high, this is when we saw a pattern emerge for AI agents, and this was the latest narrative. So what typically happens is a coin is in the basement, as it were, for a long time. Like for instance, I had held onto Virtual's protocol in between March and November 2024, where nothing was happening. If I show you what happened, I did actually sell some Virtuals way before I should have sold it. So that was a mistake. I sold on some minor pumps where Virtuals went from 0.007 to 0.05, right? So I got a little, kind of 8x, right? But I was actually getting rid of a lottery ticket down there. I sold when it was in the basement, all right? And as a result of that, oh boy, did I miss the dramatic profits. From the 0.007 that I did have, all the way up to $5 was basically over a 500x. Absolutely insane. Now, as you can see here, I did sell near the top. I sold when it was around about $4, right? But what I should have done was I should have just held it, because this was worth millions had I not sold much, much earlier. If I had not sold all the way down here and these 2 here, right, I would have had millions. So it's never a good thing to sell a cryptocurrency in the basement, because I basically got rid of, I would say, 100x gains. Because while I made a 10x down here, right, I actually didn't make a 500x by not selling and leaving it till it actually went to the top. All right, but let me just go right back to it. So they start off in the basement. You have to wait for the narrative before you start selling. Now, what you need to do is you need to look out for a particular pattern. So in this instance, Virtuals was basically the Ethereum of AI agents, right? So this was like the key asset when it came to AI agents, right? So Virtuals was like the Ethereum. And then what you had coming out of Virtuals is you had the likes of AI XBT, AI16Z, Luna, etc. Right? So when you saw not only that the infrastructure was going up, but also the derivatives. So think of it like Virtuals is Ethereum, AIXBT is like Ethereum name service, and Luna is like Ethereum Classic. Like when Ethereum has a pump, then Ethereum-based coins have a pump. So that's how the pattern emerges. You have the infrastructure going up first. Seeing this pattern emerge was seeing Virtuals all of a sudden go to $1, go to $3, go to $5. And that was the pump. In this instance, you look for a similar pattern with a bottomed cryptocurrency. So in this instance, I would look at, so as an example, look at something like Top Hat, right? Now, Top Hat is basically the Virtuals of Solana. And out of Top Hat came Colin. Also, very similar to Colin was Leah, right? So, instead of trying to chase the highs here, I mean, I was already in Virtuals, but if I wasn't in Virtuals, instead of trying to chase the highs here, best thing is to find a replicant pattern that has bottomed. So in the case of Top Hat, with Top Hat, I did around about a 3x. Colin did around about a 5x for me, I would say. And Leah did a 10x, as you know, right? So this is what you do. You do not sell in the basement, right? You do not sell in the basement. Having said that, going back to this question, so I sell and make a new portfolio with brand new coins. What you do is you only do that if the narrative pops up for those particular coins. So let's say the coins that are in the basement for you right now is gaming, right? So if you have gaming coins currently in the basement, then you may be thinking, right, there's an AI season going on right now. Their Virtuals is going up. Gotius Maximus is going up. AI16Z is going up. They are really hot right now. I'm going to sell my basement coin for a topped coin. No, that's what you should not do. However, if you have a basement coin in gaming and you see a trend going off in another narrative and you haven't got any disposable income, then yes, you should probably sell so you could get into the likes of Leah. As long as you are selling a bottomed asset for another bottomed asset, that is fine, right? As long as what you are selling into has an equivalent bottom to what you're getting out of. Because if something is already 10x'd, and what you've got is 10x down, you are potentially getting rid of a lottery ticket. A little bit like what happened with me with Virtuals, right? So I sold in the basement. I sold before there was a narrative. And as a result of that, if I had sold all of it, so you can see I've got, what, 6, 7 sells down there. If I had sold all of it, I would have nothing to sell at the top. What I did was maybe sell little bits for narratives that were going on now, but not sell completely my position, right? So in that instance, yes, it is fine to sell a basement asset for an asset that has also bottomed but is within narrative. That is fine. But what I would say is that really the only time you should sell a basement asset is when that narrative pops off. So like I said, with Virtuals, I made a megarific multiplier because I had these at 0.003 actually. So overall, it was more like a 1000x. So that's what you should do. You should keep it until the narrative hits. The narrative for AI agents has all but disappeared because the Ethereum of AI agents, Virtuals protocol, is now $1.20. So it has pretty much retraced the majority of the position, right? So now there's $1. This is now kind of 82% down, minus 82%. So that means that this is now heading potentially towards the basement. So what you should actually do, if you have got assets that have gone down, 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 is do not sell until either you can sell that coin for a current narrative that is in trend that is also bottomed, or you wait until gaming season, because there is going to be one. There is going to be one because the likes of Elio Trades and Alex Becker, they have basically created an entire empire just on gaming cryptocurrencies. Now, they are okay at AI cryptocurrencies, but gaming is their bag. That's where the magic happens. And because of the size of their channels, I definitely believe there is going to be a gaming season at some point. So what you've got right now are games are completely in the dirt. So what I'm doing, because I've got a quite large gaming portfolio, is I don't sell until the gaming ecosystem happens. So I only sell during narrative seasons. I did it with Virtual's Protocol. I did it with Cookie 3, Neural AI, Morph AI. You basically buy and sell during narrative seasons. You don't sell outside of the narrative season, because you are potentially throwing away a lottery ticket. And a great example is here with Virtual Protocol. I sold like an idiot because I was trying to free up capital for something else, when actually the best thing would have been to do is to just wait months. Now look, I started selling these in March 2024, and I had to wait until October, nearly November 2024, until that asset started moving, and then I was able to make, substantial profits, right? But if you sell here, you are potentially throwing away a lottery ticket like I did with Virtuals. So the only time to sell is when that narrative starts picking up. And as you can see, same with Neural AI, right? I was selling all the way up to $17 when I had bought it at 25 cents. So that was when I was selling. I held it. Okay, I sold a little bit over here, but I held it until the narrative popped off and it went over $6, right? And now $4.67. But I was realizing massive profits, at $11, $14. So the time to sell is during narrative season, and that is it. So if you have got, and this is why I'm saying it's a very good strategy to sell into stables. Stables should be where you put all of your profits, not putting it into like Ethereum or Solana or something like that. Put it into stables, and this is something you only touch if you see bottomed assets on a in-narrative play. So it has to be in narrative. Do not buy until the narrative starts. Now, a lot of people that are in this position, they've got bags that fell into the basement or bags that they've been holding for a long time. The best options that they have is to buy into trending narratives if they want to get rid of that position, right? But again, that comes at an opportunity cost for if they are selling their basement assets in a narrative that is dormant right now and could explode in the future. So as far as I'm concerned, you just have to wait, all right? You have to wait. If you're already in a narrative that is dormant right now, the best thing you can do is just wait. The time will come. Look, I had to wait 8 months before any narrative came up for Virtual's Protocol, and boy, was it a narrative. I had to wait a long time for that to come. And in which case, you just stay in it. Unless there's an opportunity that you cannot miss right now, stay in it. If you need to free up some capital, and the only way you can do it is from a basement cryptocurrency, fine. Unless it's futile, unless you've bought into a shit narrative like, I don't know, privacy or supply chain or something crap like that, that's never going to have a real narrative. The best thing to do is to wait until that narrative kicks off, because they always do, right? Another one that you may want to consider selling is maybe a meme coin that you bought, like the relevance is gone, it's never going to come back. Yeah, you could probably sell that one. Because even if meme coins have an explosion, like there's so many millions of meme coins that something that you bought back in like March 2024 is unlikely to make a comeback, in which case free up that capital. But if you have a basement coin that's in a super trend like gaming, just wait for gaming season. All right, wait for gaming season. And then you see how, certain coins are doing in that. So you'll probably have like the likes of Immutable X, Super, Off the Grid, which is going to be, coming out soon. These are basically the Ethereums, or the Ethereum name service, or Ethereum Classic of gaming, right? Once these start popping off, then you know that gaming season is about to be underway, right? And then that is where you have your trigger button ready, right? And you are ready to sell gaming coins as these coins make their trajectory. Okay, so the likelihood is that we'll see Super going from, I don't know what the price is, let's say $1 to $5 or something. right? It'll be during this bit, that's when you sell, right? That is when you sell your gaming coins. Because everything goes up via osmosis. The same happened with AI agents. Like everything went up. Everything, it didn't really matter what it was. Everything went up, right? And the same will happen with gaming. And the same will happen with, DPIN and RWA and possibly elite meme coins or cult meme coins. And that's what I would suggest. You only sell in the narrative. So, to answer this question, what to do next with these bags of coins that fell into the basement? Sell and make a new portfolio with brand new coins? Or stick to the old ones that are also not old and haven't experienced a bull run yet? In my personal opinion, if you are in basement-based cryptocurrencies, ones that are bottomed but are in a super trend, and you wait until the narrative and then you sell, that is the time to sell. You do not sell in the basement. That is the number one worst thing you can do, as exemplified by the fact that I lost probably $1 million by selling these coins early. By selling these coins early, I lost probably $1 million doing so, right? So, that is a cautionary tale. Never sell your basement coins until the narrative, unless you need to free up capital to buy into a narrative that is ready right now, like what I did with Leah. I bought into Leah, it made me a 10x, and that was something that allowed me to make some profits that could then be reinvested back into whatever I sold. So let's say I sold a cryptocurrency and it was bottomed, I made a 10x, then I could put the money that was my initials back into this, so I'm not in a losing position. So I'm back in it for when the gaming season does pop off. Or I reinvest, maybe even 2 or 3x times that, so that I increase my exposure for the gaming season. And then last of all, once you make these gains, pay yourself in stables. Okay? Build the retirement fund. That is the most important thing. I would, whenever I am buying and selling out of a narrative, is I fund the retirement fund. That's the most important thing. So when should you sell bottomed coins? When they are in the narrative and when they are pumping. Do not sell bottomed coins before the narrative comes. Otherwise, you're potentially throwing away a lottery ticket. Till next time, I've been the Suppoman. You've been amazing. If you've got any more questions you'd like me to answer, please put it in the comments. It is lights out, all out.